What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mason, and this is It's About Hockey. Now, if you've been living under a rock for the past week, or maybe even the past year, you might not know that the Winnipeg Jets and Minnesota Wild have got this crazy rivalry kind of brewing right now, and things kind of are reaching a tipping point. Well, to some, they've kind of reached a tipping point. To me, something happened this past week that I don't think should happen pretty much at all. I think the media might be blowing it a little bit out of proportion, but we're going to jump into it really quick. So basically what happened was Kaprizov got injured by Brandon Dillon. Brandon Dillon cross-checked him in the lower back a little bit, causing Kaprizov to break, I think, a couple ribs, or at least one rib. That's for sure. That's what's been on the media anyways. And there was some retaliation that Ryan Hartman did to Cole Perfetti in the face-off. If you haven't seen it, I'll put the little link right up here. You can go watch and see what happened. But basically what happened is he got nicked in the face. He got whacked in the face pretty good by Ryan Hartman. And what happened was, what made this thing as big as it is now, that Cole Perfetti happened to be mic'd up during the game. Now, each team knows what player is mic'd up. It's told to the players that, hey, if you're cruising past, just make sure to watch what you're saying, because the player is mic'd up. Granted, it's not a hot mic. There's nothing going on. It's not a live stream of what's being said on the ice, even though I really wish that was a thing. I think the NHL should definitely, I know they won't, but I definitely think they should look into that. I think the NHL would make a hell of a lot more money if that was a thing. We'll probably never get it. What was said on the ice was Cole Perfetti, I guess, went back to Ryan Hartman and was asking if that was a retaliation for Kaprizov. I guess he kept bugging him into the point where Ryan Hartman finally responded and said that, I'm not going to say it wasn't in response to that. Now, granted, that's a hell of an excuse. Like, I actually love that excuse, or his response. Where things really blew up was post game. Cole Perfetti was asked by a media member if he had asked, or if he had heard that Ryan Hartman told him, the player, Cole Perfetti, that if that was a response. And Perfetti admitted that that's what he said.
Just to follow on that, Cole, did he make it pretty clear that he was doing that as retribution for what had happened the day before?
Yeah, he did. He made it pretty obvious. He did it he said it in kind of a respectful way. He said, no disrespect, nothing against you. Just, had to happen. Something had to happen against, what happened to Kaprizov there. He's obviously going to be out for a little bit. And
now, we didn't find out until maybe yesterday. Was it yesterday or maybe even the day before that Ryan Hartman actually had an interview, and he explained the situation in his own words. And in his own words, he comes up to me multiple times and asked me if I did it on purpose. And finally, all I told him was, I'm not going to say it wasn't on purpose. So I didn't tell him, hey, I did that on purpose. He kept coming up to me and finally said, I'm not going to say it wasn't on purpose. And that was the extent of it. So Cole Perfetti, I don't think he was trying to cause drama. I don't think he was just answering a question. My problem with it is he was kind of dry snitching on the whole situation. Like, granted, the media member asked him a question and he told the truth. He gave a reasonable response, but I'm like, that's part of the hockey code, so to speak. It's always what happens on the ice stays on the ice. What happens in the locker room stays in the locker room, or stays within the organization. Chicago Blackhawks, I'm talking to you. But yeah, I don't think it should have been more than what it was. Honestly, if you guys feel the same way, let me know in the comments. There's there's people out there who have this imaginary thing in their head of what the NHL should be. People want the NHL to be a safer game. Some people want to take fighting out of the game. I definitely don't. But, everyone seems to have this opinion on what the NHL should be. And I think we overlook what the NHL actually is. It's a bunch of guys who are pissed off at each other. Not all the time, but sometimes those things do happen. And it's a physical game, and this is a game we're allowed to hit. And the referees do a pretty good job at managing the game, but sometimes emotions get the best of players, and things happen. Cross checks, slashings, butt ends, spears, stuff like that happens. One of the things I saw out there was that this incident really has no place in the game. The face-off hit. Granted, it did cause Perfetti to have a couple stitches in his face, but end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. I've seen a lot worse happen to players in a face-off dot. If you've ever watched Joe Thornton play when he's pissed off and he's losing. I've seen Joe Thornton almost slash someone's guy's arm off a couple times. I've seen him fight pretty much before games, and there's a lot worse things that happen on the ice than this event. And what made this thing so popular in the mainstream is the response by the player after the game. It just should have just stayed in-house. It should have never been blown up right now. We got guys out there making videos like myself explaining, what they think the NHL should be. Does this have a place in the NHL or not? I definitely think it stays in the game for sure. I don't think this changes much, but it's just kind of sad to see players going to this extent, answering questions like that when they could just easily respond on the ice and just let it kind of be what it is. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys think this thing was blown out of proportion? Do you think this thing should be in the game or not? Me personally, again, I love this kind of stuff. I don't necessarily love so much of the drama that it's all we talk about, but I do love having something to actually talk about and look forward to, because these teams are going to play each other again. If it is as dirty as they're thinking it is, that we might see some fireworks the next showing. We might see pretty much nothing. We might just see a physical game. And if these teams meet in the playoffs, we might see a real rivalry that's going to go down in history as probably one of the better ones. Currently right now, Winnipeg is top of the league right now, so we'll see where Minnesota winds up. And if they do meet in the playoffs, I will definitely be watching, and hopefully you guys will be watching too. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think of this whole incident and what's going on. Do you think Cole Perfetti is being a baby? Do you think Ryan Hartman was stepped over the line? Do you think Kaprizov comes back this season? Who knows what's going to happen? Let me know what you think is going to happen in the comments below. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching the videos. We got some more stuff coming this year. Hopefully we got some more drama to talk about in the next video too. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the comments. Peace out.